In a small town, there lived a single dad named Jake. He was in his late 30s and had a rugged look, with tousled hair and tired eyes that told stories of long days. Every morning, he rose before dawn, juggling two jobs while caring for his young son, Tommy. Jake worked as a mechanic during the day and delivered pizzas at night. Though he loved his job fixing cars, the hours were long and the pay was low. Every moment not spent working was devoted to Tommy, who was 7 years old and full of energy. They shared a small trailer on the outskirts of town, filled with laughter and the occasional chaos of toys scattered everywhere. Despite the challenges, Jake tried to create a warm home for Tommy, using every resource he had. They made pancakes on weekends and spent evenings watching movies together. However, there were days when the weight of being both a dad and a provider felt heavy on Jake's shoulders. Bills piled up, and sometimes he worried about how to make ends meet. Still, he never let Tommy see his worries. After all, Jake wanted to show his son that even in tough times, kindness and hard work could make a difference. One sunny afternoon, while Jake was taking a rare break from his busy routine, he decided to take Tommy to the nearby park. As they enjoyed their time playing on the swings and tossing a frisbee, Jake noticed a commotion on the road. Curiosity piqued. He turned to see a woman standing beside a broken-down car, her expression filled with frustration. The vehicle was an old sedan, smoke rising from under the hood. Without hesitation, Jake approached her, leaving Tommy happily at play. The woman looked relieved as he introduced himself. "Hi, I'm Jake," he said with a friendly smile. "Looks like you could use some help." She explained that her car had suddenly stalled while she was driving home from work. As she spoke, Jake could see worry etched across her face. She was clearly stranded and unsure of what to do next. Jake glanced at the car and felt a familiar pull of duty. He had fixed many engines in his life and knew he could help this woman out. With determination in his heart, he rolled up his sleeves and got to work, ready to tackle whatever problem lay beneath the hood, unaware that this simple act of kindness would lead to unexpected changes ahead. Jake felt a sense of purpose wash over him as he approached the broken-down car. The woman looked relieved, but her anxious expression tugged at his heartstrings. He understood what it felt like to be overwhelmed, especially on a day when help seemed out of reach. With all the responsibilities he carried as a single dad, Jake knew life could throw unexpected challenges your way. Yet, something deep inside urged him to lend a hand. As he crouched beside the vehicle, Jake introduced himself more formally. "Let's see what we can do together," he said, flashing her an encouraging smile. She nodded and offered him her name, Lisa, but it was clear she was still uncertain about trusting a stranger. Understandably, she had every reason to be wary, ignoring his own fatigue and the ticking clock reminding him of his busy schedule. Jake focused on assessing the engine. The old sedan groaned as he lifted the hood, revealing tangled wires and bits of machinery covered in grime. Despite his own worries about getting back to Tommy soon, Jake's compassion pushed him forward. It felt good to help someone in need and momentarily forget his own struggles, turning this chance encounter into something meaningful for both of them. Jake knelt beside the old sedan, feeling a mix of excitement and determination. He quickly pulled out his trusty toolbox from his truck. The tools were well-used but reliable. Each one held memories of past repairs and lessons learned. He grabbed a wrench, a screwdriver, and some pliers, explaining each tool's purpose to Lisa as he worked. "Here's the wrench," he said, demonstrating how to loosen a bolt. "This will help us get into the engine." Lisa watched intently, her initial anxiety slowly replaced with curiosity. Jake began to inspect the engine, carefully removing a few covers to get a better look inside. He pointed out various parts, sharing bits of knowledge about how engines functioned, making it feel like a mini lesson between friends. As he worked, he discovered that a loose wire had caused the stalling issue. "A simple fix," he exclaimed with relief. He carefully reconnected the wire and tightened the bolts, explaining every step to Lisa. "You see, it's all about knowing what to look for," he said with a smile. The sun was beginning to set, casting a warm glow around them as they shared this unexpected bonding experience over car troubles. As Jake secured the final bolt and closed the hood of the sedan, a sense of accomplishment washed over him. Lisa's eyes widened with disbelief and gratitude as she turned the key in the ignition. The engine roared to life, sounding smooth and strong. She couldn't help but laugh in relief. "I can't believe you actually fixed it. Thank you so much," she exclaimed, her smile lighting up her face. Jake wiped his hands on a rag and chuckled modestly. "It was just a little issue," he said, though he felt a rush of pride swell in his chest. Lisa stepped out of the car, her nervous energy replaced by genuine warmth. "I had almost lost hope," she admitted, her voice softening. "You really saved my day." As they stood there, the sun began to dip below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. In that moment, an unspoken bond formed between them, a shared experience that transcended their lives as strangers. Jake felt grateful, too. It wasn't every day he had the chance to make such a difference in someone else's life. They exchanged contact information, promising to keep in touch, both knowing they had created a new friendship from this unexpected encounter. The next morning, Jake awoke to a peculiar sound that broke the usual tranquility of his rural surroundings. It was a low, humming noise that grew louder, pulling him from his dreams. Rubbing sleep from his eyes, he quickly glanced at the clock, too early for anything out of the ordinary. Curiosity mixed with concern as he stepped outside his trailer onto the dew-kissed grass. To his astonishment, a helicopter was landing just a few yards away, its rotor blades whirring and kicking up dust and leaves around it. The sight was unusual for their quiet neighborhood, where such excitement was rare. As he watched, Tommy appeared beside him, wide-eyed and full of questions. "What's that, Dad?" Tommy asked, pointing at the hovering aircraft. "I'm not sure," Jake replied, feeling a sense of unease creep in. Who would be arriving by helicopter? Was it an emergency? Jake's mind raced with possibilities as the helicopter settled onto the ground. He felt protective instincts kicking in. Whatever was happening could disrupt their peaceful life. Both father and son stood frozen for a moment, watching intently as figures began to exit the helicopter, wondering what this unexpected turn of events would bring. As the helicopter doors swung open, Jake and Tommy exchanged curious glances. A group of uniformed individuals stepped out, and one of them, a woman with a clipboard, began walking towards Jake's trailer. Her expression was friendly yet serious, and she approached with purpose. "Good morning. I'm Sarah." She introduced herself, extending her hand. "We're the volunteer organization that helps communities in need." Jake could hardly believe what he was hearing. "Volunteers," he echoed, trying to process the information while Tommy listened intently at his side. "Yes," Sarah continued, excitement growing in her voice. "We're looking for people like you who have skills to share, especially those who can help with repairs or offer support during community events. Your kindness yesterday showed us that you have the heart for it." Jake felt a spark of hope ignite within him as she spoke. This could be an opportunity to make a real difference beyond his daily struggles. He glanced at Tommy, who looked fascinated by the idea of helping others. The thought resonated deeply with Jake. He had always wanted to teach his son about giving back. As they discussed further details, Jake realized that this unexpected visit might be the turning point he had needed in both their lives. As Sarah explained the organization's mission, Jake felt a whirlwind of emotions. Excitement surged through him, mixed with a hint of disbelief. Could this be the turning point he had longed for? For years, he had been caught in a cycle of struggling just to get by, focusing solely on his responsibilities as a single dad. Now, the possibility of making a real impact in the community sparked something deep inside him. He glanced at Tommy, whose eyes shone with curiosity and admiration. The thought of being able to teach his son about helping others made Jake's heart swell. He envisioned weekends spent volunteering together, fixing cars for those in need, or participating in community events that could bring joy to others. "This could really change our lives," Jake found himself saying, feeling the weight of his past worries lift slightly. The idea of using his skills for a greater cause felt invigorating. Helping people, Connecting with his community and showing Tommy what it means to give back filled him with renewed purpose. With every word Sarah spoke, he realized that this might not only be an opportunity for him, but also a chance to create lasting memories and values with his son, shaping their future together in ways he never imagined possible. As Jake stood with Tommy watching the helicopter fly away, he felt a profound sense of gratitude for the unexpected journey they had embarked on. What started as a simple act of kindness to help a stranded woman had blossomed into a life-changing opportunity. He couldn't help but reflect on how one small choice, the decision to lend a hand, could ripple outwards and create significant impact for themselves and others. Jake felt inspired by his newfound purpose. It wasn't just about fixing cars or volunteering. It was about teaching Tommy the importance of compassion and community. The two of them could now make a difference in their small town, offering support to those who needed it most. He thought about Lisa and how grateful she had been, and he realized that many people might feel isolated or overwhelmed in their struggles. By stepping in to help, they could spark hope in others. With a smile, Jake looked down at Tommy, who was beaming with excitement at the prospect of helping others. "Let's get ready to make some good memories together," Jake said, feeling a renewed sense of direction. This journey had just begun, and he knew that their shared experiences would not only change their lives, but also inspire those around them to embrace kindness and offer help to those in need.